5 easy to prep meals designed to actually keep you full for just $13 a day. You've heard it, just eat less and move more. But if you're hungry after every meal, how are you not supposed to eat more? It's not your willpower, it's your meals. I'm a biochemist and I built a research-backed Fullness Formula. For every 550 calories, a meal must weigh at least 1 pound, pack 40 grams of protein, and include 10 grams of fiber. Each one hits a different hunger trigger. Combine them, fullness gets a whole lot easier. I'll explain at the end. Today's plan crushes this formula for just under $13 a day at 1550 calories. Yes, snacks and dessert included. Free PDF with macros, prep steps, and veg swaps below. Let's dive in. First up, turkey egg burritos, because breakfast is best when the prep is fast and filling, whether or not you're grabbing and going or sitting back and relaxing. Each one's just 316 calories and gives you over half a pound of food, 29 grams of protein, and 23 grams of fiber. Not bad for breakfast. At first glance, it might look like we're missing the mark, but scale it up to 550 calories and criteria hit. And yes, that includes the salsa and sour cream topping. Price is just $2.66 per burrito. And to prep, you just need 1 knife, 1 cutting board, 1 pan, and 2 bowls. To start, dice up your veg and start by browning your turkey with a blend of the seasonings on screen. Exact amounts are always in the PDF. Then toss in your chopped veg and give it a good mix. Next, we add in cottage cheese. I get it. It sounds weird. I'm not a fan of the texture myself, but you're not gonna taste it, you're not gonna see it. Trust me. Just creamy, cheesy flavor. Let that mixture simmer down until thick, then transfer to a bowl to cool. Next, eggs. Crack 10 eggs and 1 cup of egg whites, whisk, and cook low and slow for a soft, creamy scramble. Toss the meat mixture into a bowl. Look how creamy it looks. Then toss in the egg mixture and stir up until it looks like this. Taste and tweak if needed. Now, grab your high fiber tortillas, scoop in about 3/4 cup of filling per burrito, roll them tight, wrap in foil, put in the freezer. This recipe makes about 12 burritos, but I included macros for 10 and 11 in the PDF if you want them a bit bigger. These bad boys store in the freezer for up to 3 months, so double the batch if you're ready to stock up. Next up, lunch. And no, this is not some sad desk salad. This bowl's hearty, colorful, and weighs 3/4 of a pound. The key here are lentils. I never used to cook with lentils, but I'm going to expose you to what might be the cheapest, most underrated superfood when it comes to weight, protein, and fiber. They're so dang cheap, we can splurge on pre-cooked grilled chicken strips to keep things convenient. Each serving gives you a 3/4 pound of food, 35 grams of protein, and 8 grams of fiber for just 300 calories. A snack bar can be 300 calories, but this will feel like an entire meal, I promise you. Daily total so far, 620 calories, almost 1.5 pounds of food, 64 grams of protein, and 31 grams of fiber. Cost? $1.21 per serving with lentils, veg, cheese, and dressing. $2.43 total if you add 3 ounces of pre-cooked chicken strips. Like I said, it's still super cheap because lentils are just that amazing. Try them. PDF also has other protein options like canned tuna or vegetarian picks like corn products or tofu. The prep is simple. Boil your lentils for about 10 minutes. While those cook, dice up your veggies and set them aside. When lentils are soft but not mushy, drain, cool, and toss them with the veggies. Portion evenly into 6 jars. For dressing, you can use store-bought light vinaigrette, I do that often, or you can go next level with my lemon zest dressing. It's made with olive oil, lemon juice and zest, Dijon, honey, garlic, salt, and pepper. Super fresh and bright, which is a perfect vibe for lunchtime. When it's time to eat, dump the jar into a bowl, microwave 3 ounces of chicken, top with 1 to 1.5 tablespoons of dressing, mix, and enjoy. People make the mistake of going light on lunch or skipping it. That's how you end up ordering DoorDash or takeout on your way home from work. Dinner time. If you're like me, you're tired, and the last thing you want is 30 minutes of cooking and a sink full of dishes you'd rather set on fire than clean. You want something fast, cozy, maybe even nostalgic. So that's what I made. The fastest mac and cheese of your life. Rebuilt to be the most filling mac and cheese of your life. Each bowl is just 421 calories, but gives you just under a pound of pure comfort, 33 grams of protein, and tons of fiber. That brings our total so far to just over 1,000 calories, 2.2 pounds of food, 100 grams of protein, and 80 grams of fiber. My goodness. Cost per monster bowl, just $4.12. That keeps our daily total under $10. There are 3 key ingredients to this version. First are fiber gourmet noodles. These have half the calories of regular noodles, yet taste basically the same. And it's because they're made with resistant starch, which acts like regular starch in texture, but you can't digest most of the calories. So you get real noodle bite without the calorie cost. You can find these in most grocery stores or get them online. They're everywhere. Next is Big Daddy Mac Mix. I know. This is where the bold, nostalgic cheese flavor comes from. It really captures that box Mac flavor. You can grab it on Amazon or Walmart, and one container makes up to 25 servings. Finally, nutritional yeast adds a cheesy depth and lets you use less Mac Mix. Think of it like color grading. The mix brings the base color. The yeast dials up to saturation. You find this in the seasoning aisle at any grocery store. And the best part? You can prep the sauce in advance. On prep day, add the following ingredients to a blender: milk, cottage cheese, Mac Mix, nutritional yeast, cornstarch for thickening, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, and paprika. Blend until smooth and pour into jars or any storage containers. I usually batch 3 jars, enough for 6 servings throughout the week. Keep them in the fridge and pull out one whenever you're ready for mac. When it's dinner time, boil your noodles, give your sauce a shake, pour it into the pot, and stir while it heats. The cornstarch thickens the sauce as it heats. That's called starch gelatinization. So it chills loose in the fridge, but turns into this rich, creamy sauce the second you warm it up. About 3 to 4 minutes and you're good to go. And honestly, once it's prepped, it's easier than boxed mac. Just heat, stir, and serve. Easy dinner. If you find this helpful, hit the subscribe so you don't miss the next one, because I've already got another full week in the works. Waiting on your Big Daddy Mac Mix to show up? No problem. I've got a backup dinner that's even easier. I call it 3-ingredient pasta. Creative, I know, but it delivers, I promise. Ingredients: 1 box of Fiber Gourmet noodles, 12 ounces of pre-grilled chicken strips, and 1 can of low-calorie pasta sauce. I alternate between marinara and Alfredo. To make, boil the noodles, add the microwave chicken, stir in the sauce, combine and heat. Done. Macros and cost, just about the same as the mac and cheese. And yes, vegetarian versions are in the PDF if you're going meatless. I always keep these on hand. Perfect for nights when the plan falls apart, I'm tired, I forgot to prep, or all the above. Okay, snack time. You could just chug a protein shake, but let's upgrade to something that hits harder on flavor, texture, and nutrition. Chia seed pudding. Chia seeds are packed with nutrients and at first glance, tiny. However, their soluble fiber helps them absorb liquid and expand, giving us volume, creaminess, and that rich pudding texture when mixed with milk and fruit. And for just 360 calories, you get all of this in one jar. Nearly a pound of food, 30 grams of protein, 14 grams of fiber, which brings our running total to around 1,400 calories, 3 pounds of food, 130 grams of protein, and 90 grams of fiber. Cost? Just $1.09 a jar. And that keeps our whole day to under $11. That's wild. Prep is also easy. Grab 5 jars. I do love using jars, or so it appears. Into each add chia seeds, sweetener, yogurt, fruit. I'm going with blueberries, milk, stir, chill 10 minutes, then stir again, and put in the fridge for overnight. And you can eat them whenever hunger hits. Mid-morning, afternoon crash, late night cravings, you pick. Now for dessert, and it's a doozy. Blueberry cheesecake. This slice looks amazing. And guess how many calories you think this is? Just guess out loud. I'm listening in spirit. 140 calories, including the topping. Weighing in at half a pound, 23 grams of protein, and since it's dessert, we're not stressing about fiber. That brings us to 1,550 calories, 3.5 pounds of food, 150 grams of protein, and plenty of fiber. And it's just $1.59 a slice. The full day clocks in at $11.89. It looks fancy, but it's dead simple, even if you're not a baker. In a blender, add cottage cheese, blueberry yogurt, vanilla protein powder, eggs, egg whites, pudding mix, Truvia, vanilla extract. Blend until smooth, pour into a baking pan, and bake at 350 for 35 minutes. While it bakes, make the topping, which is also super easy. You just heat 1.5 cups of fruit plus 1 cup of water into a pan. Mix 2 tablespoons cornstarch with a little cold water. Once the fruit mixture is warm, stir in the cornstarch, simmer until thickened, then refrigerate. Once the cheesecake is done, cool for 10 minutes at room temp and refrigerate that for at least an hour. Top with the blueberry filling and serve. This cheesecake always tastes better after an overnight chill, but I always have a slice right away. You could eat half of the cheesecake for 550 calories and 50 grams of protein. I've done it. It was awesome. I really hope you try this one because it's one of my favorites. Before I walk you through why this works, quick reminder. This is just one way to use the meal plan. The free PDF includes vegetarian swaps, alternate protein options, mix and match meals with pre-calculated macros, and a full batch prep guide to knock out the week in one go. Now, how do the components of this fullness formula actually work? I spend most of my time reading research on hunger and weight loss. It's my job. And from all that research, I found 3 things show up consistently to be incredibly important when it comes to feeling full. 1, weight. I'm talking pounds of food. We often focus on calories, but your stomach doesn't count calories nearly as much as it senses volume or senses weight. Your stomach is lined with stretch receptors, and when they expand, they signal fullness to your brain. Meaning, every meal, no stretch, you're still gonna be hungry. Most people, including you, eat 3 or 4 pounds of food every day, whether it's 1,500 or 2,500 calories. That's why all my meal plans aim for this weight range. Next is protein, which has 2 things going for it. First, protein is the most filling macronutrient, more than carbs or fat. Protein contains essential amino acids your body can't make, so we're naturally driven to seek them out. Second, you also burn more calories digesting protein. About 35% of protein calories are used during digestion, compared to just 10% from carbs and 3% from fat. You put this together, and protein simultaneously reduces hunger and increases metabolism all in one. Number 3, fiber helps with fullness in 2 ways. First, it adds volume, helping with the stretch signal. Second, it feeds your gut bacteria. Those microbes influence your hunger, hormones, and metabolism. The better your fiber intake, the better your gut health, and the easier it is to manage hunger. That's the fullness formula, and every meal in this video hits that formula, often exceeding it. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want another week of meals just like this, meals that fill you up and make weight loss feel realistic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.